Hello and welcome to ThePrint. This is Akanksha Mishra and you're watching Scientifix, where I will be taking you through this week's top science news from across the world. The first story today is about an innovation from the Francis Crick Institute in London, where researchers have managed to recreate human lungs on a chip. It's a tiny device made of plastic which has real lung cells on it, and it simulates real human lung behavior like breathing through air sacs. Another important quality is that this lung on a chip is made entirely using stem cells from one individual, meaning that it's effectively a tiny recreation of one person's lungs. Why is this innovation important? Well, scientists can now use this chip for understanding how individual human lungs function, how disease develops, and whether drugs would work on certain bodies or not. By figuring out how to make a personalized lung model on a chip, the London researchers have advanced personalized drug testing to a whole new level. Not to mention, they've removed the need for using animal models altogether. This model was also tested by being infected with tuberculosis, and the scientists could see how the very early stages of the disease advanced in the model and how the cells and the TB bacteria interacted. This exposure is now possible for many other lung diseases, and it will help both in diagnosis and treatment. Next up, we have a story from the University of California, Santa Barbara, where scientists have advanced a long standing theory of what happened to woolly mammoths, mastodons, and other animals during the Ice Age. No, I'm not talking about the movie, but the real life glacial event on Earth that occurred between 29,000 to 11,000 years ago. This was also the time when a range of megafauna like mammoths roamed the Earth, and the Clovis prehistoric people populated North America. However, around 13,000 years ago, most of this megafauna, as well as signs of the Clovis people, disappeared. One explanation for this extinction is that a comet struck the Earth and wiped out this era. Now, UC Santa Barbara researchers have found evidence of shocked quartz at Ice Age archaeological sites, adding to this theory. Shocked quartz is basically sand that has been altered and has become quartz due to extreme heat and pressure, possibly from an exploding comet. In a paper, the researchers described their findings and how a comet exploding near the Earth's atmosphere could have led to widespread fire, smoke, and dust, which changed the Earth's environment and eventually led to the collapse of Clovis culture as well as Ice Age fauna. Shocked quartz is the latest in a list of findings that include rare earth elements and nanodiamonds, all found near Clovis culture sites and all indicative of a large catastrophic event that changed this era in the Earth's history. Next up is an interesting study by US scientists about the role that moss can play in solving crimes. You heard me. The study described how moss and other types of bryophytes, which are extremely local plants that grow differently based on their surroundings, can serve as important indicators of crime locations. The study, published in Forensic Sciences Research Journal, describes a real-life case of a 2011 murder investigation in which one of the authors helped solve a criminal case using moss. A missing body was discovered using moss fragments found on the suspect's shoes. Scientists analyzed these fragments, surveyed the broad location where the burial of the body could have taken place, and then matched the qualities of the moss to the local habitat. They eventually narrowed down the location to 50 square feet, and that was later confirmed as the burial spot. The study concluded that there are wide varieties of moss which grow according to their specific habitat, and they can reveal information about the location, timing, and environmental conditions which can aid criminal investigations. Finally, the trees in Panama are responding to climate change and increased droughts with physical changes, such as growing longer roots. A new study by Colorado State University tracked the growth of trees in a patch of the Panama rainforest over 5 years, where rainfall had reduced by over 70%. Using soil samples and even underground cameras, the researchers found that trees began growing fine roots deep underground to access moisture that they could not find at the surface of the soil. This was a unique strategy that the scientists said was a rescue emergency measure by the tropical trees. But not all trees could manage to survive in this drought. With climate change expecting to drive up temperatures in the forest and bringing on extreme droughts, the authors of the study caution that this survival strategy might still not be enough for the Panama rainforest. That's all we have for you today. Thank you for tuning into The Print.